might cut this out depending on how funny it is. Anyways.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm almost done.
Okay. Salute. Salute. All right, cool.
Yeah, all that.
Yo, this the Notion Podcast. This your boy Dizzy D Spill with my co-host in the building.
Jelani Evans.
Farmer Poe.
So what's good, fellas? How y'all living, man? What's going on? What's new?
New?
You been moving any products since the last episode, man?
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took him to the job.
Oh, okay.
You know, got to make my rounds. I work at the college, so
Okay.
definitely made some on the first day. Made some sales on the first day. So.
Oh, I feel like I asked you. You got business cards, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
You
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
just want to make sure you covering all your bases.
Yep.
I ain't even gonna lie.
I put them in
the packaging is a little different for me because I know it's like on a more organic level. So I was struggling for a minute.
Opening it up the bag?
No, not the bag.
I was about to say you didn't know.
That's a customer error.
You gotta pull the strings.
Yeah, that's a customer error.
Okay.
But you got like you got the different material and stuff. So I was like, because I was determined to use everything. Like one of those days. But yeah, I like everything.
How'd you? Okay, you liked it?
Yeah, I like the
lip balm
sprays.
spray.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think for the past few days I've been using everything, man.
That's fire. That's
yeah,
fire.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's fire.
So y'all need to holler at is it Earth Tones?
Yeah. So it's Earth Tones 916 at Instagram Earth Tones 916.
Yeah.
The website is Mystic Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
MysticGarden.com.
Yeah.
And there's no vowels.
No. Yeah, you can
And
go to
Mystic.
MYSTIKGARDEN.
Okay.
But if you want to go on Instagram, you remove the vowels and then you can.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
I just got confused.
The only thing I can say is good luck, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You might want to just follow Poe and then like go down that breadcrumb the little trail or whatever the case it is.
Earth Tones.
Small
Earth
business,
Tones.
man. We
Earth
still making
Tones.
adjustments.
I know it's some, bro. I know.
It's Earth Tones 916.
I know it's probably some listeners right now. Like he said, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And Tony, both of them in concert.
He said, where? In the middle of the garden.
Okay.
I ain't heard this tape.
In the middle of the garden. Where's that venue?
Man, Kicks and Sneakers, what's up, man?
Oh, man, chilling, Oh, shoes. Boom. So the Jordan 1s just dropped the Lost and Founds, the Chicago colorway, like with the crack collar.
I definitely didn't find them. I tried. But.
Yeah, they were lost for a lot of people. What's crazy is so they dropped, right? And Nike sneakers that kind of crashed, right? It kicked everybody out. You couldn't log back in for a while. I don't know how long this happened. I'm not sure of it because I wasn't there. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I gotta get them. But apparently, it kicked people out. And that went on for a minute. I don't know how long. People still scored. So I guess it didn't go on for the full 10-minute duration of the draw.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people still scored. So that happened. News will come out for Adidas because last time we talked, I remember saying that they are planning to release Yeezys moving forward without Yeezy's name.
So what's
as soon as 2023.
Huh.
They still got to pay Ye.
They still have to pay him.
Yes. So
they be paying them, I'm guessing, royalties?
I'm not sure of the specifics.
Is that
of
for
how
sales?
Everything
or for licensing?
Again, I'm not certain of the specifics of how everything, but according to the contract, they still have to pay Ye if they are going to move forward with selling any of the models that they have been dealing with before it.
I can't hate on that.
Those are, of course, the models that they have the rights to. So they say they're going to move forward with dealing with them because at the end of the day, you have to understand half. Yeezy made up half of their revenue. I told you. And the estimates went from 500 million, 250 million to 250 million when they decided to cut ties with him. Right?
Jeez.
So he basically, right. And, I also stated that the 300 plus mil that they were going to get back from royalties and not having to market the Yeezy brand anymore. But it still hurts because we're talking about 250 in revenue versus that 300 mil that was over a period of time, right?
Yeah. So now you're just really almost just...
It's almost like they're shooting themselves in the foot because he benefits, you know what I'm saying? And they're probably not going to move as much because they're not going to say Yeezy on them, but he's still gonna.
Well,
gonna
let's
break
see.
even.
All right. Well, see. All right. Let's address that because at the end of the day, they only ever say Yeezy on the insole.
That's what I was asking. That's
They
what I
only
was
say
asking.
Yeezy on the insole.
But it's the colorway that people are gonna know.
And they can release the same colorways. They can do whatever they want.
They can't. So what I think what was interesting
They
is
as in Adidas. Adidas can do whatever they want.
as long as a celebrity or someone of some status wears them, people will probably just be like, okay.
It doesn't even have to be that. You feel me? It's just like if I like the shoe, if I rock with the shoe, if the shoe is comfortable, I'm gonna rock it regardless. Like, okay, I rock with Ye. If you rock with Ye and you feel some type of way about the separation, the breakup, the disconnect, then you might discontinue to wear anything. So there's the Ye era and then the post Ye era, right? So then if you wear any post Ye Adidas, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? If you choose not to because of what happened, that's also your prerogative, right? At the end of the day, unless Adidas release a different color post Ye, how can you tell the difference?
You can't.
Exactly. So who really gives a
I
fuck?
might fuck around and get me some.
Who really gives a fuck? You see what I'm saying? Like, and he's still gonna get paid.
Yeah.
So
I can't not.
That's why.
Ultimately, he did exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to separate himself from them, right?
Yeah.
And he did so, and they're gonna move forward with releasing. And that's fine. I don't want anything to do with you, and you still gotta cut me a check. And now he can move forward and do exactly whatever it is he wants to do with Yeezy, as long as Ye has new designs.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
And I think he will.
Of course.
And the bounce back is probably going to be even greater now that people saw that this whole.
Well, see, the thing about the bounce
fiasco.
back is just about
The bounce back in regards to when he's releasing a product, so not like
But
the,
that's what
the
I'm saying.
logistics.
That's what I'm saying, though. You have to understand. Adidas had the infrastructure. You understand what I'm saying? So to think that he's just gonna turn around and come out with something,
Hell no.
it's not gonna happen like that.
No.
And then
No.
you also have to understand what just happened to him and the backlash of everything. So then you have to think about who will be willing to work with him moving forward in those industries.
Yeah, I totally agree. But if he does eventually come out with comes up with a product, then I think that the fans and
what he needs to do?
consumers would be like,
You know what he needs to do?
what?
Go to Skechers.
Man, they
Fuck
kicked his
no.
ass out.
He needs to go to a black-owned shoe company.
Who was it that posted those? Was it My Son? Posted a lot of those black owned.
And I say that, and I say that,
I remember seeing that.
and I say that to do this, right? Not take over anything. Just collaborate and partner up on an exclusive Yeezy line. And in doing that, you bring exposure to that brand, right?
Make the brand actually
and you're
better.
also gaining access to their resources and whatever it is they have going on, right? And with you being
Because they got
black
a foot in the
owned,
door a little.
you retain a lot of your following, and you might even, a lot of your, same hue following. Excuse me, same hue following, and you might even pick up more fans because of you making that move, right? Because what you're doing in that is now you're taking everything that you have in your name and you're helping to empower black-owned, right?
For sure.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that company can
on top
only
of
get
you
better.
standing on what it is that you were talking about from jump.
Right.
Because who says after that partnership with them, you getting access to the resources that you can turn around and come out with your own? It can start off with a partnership and a collection and a line to show that you're not done, and then from there, right, move forward with your own whatever, and then let that be.
All right, let me piggyback on this. So basically, what Jelani is saying is kicks and sneakers is more than willing. So, yay. This is your one and only opportunity.
Yeah, because if you don't,
Because when he get there, you can't come there after he get there. It's just, I'm letting you know right now, yay, we actually call you by the name you want to be called. Yay, we not out here disrespecting. Holler at kicks and sneakers, okay? And let's get it cracking.
if you
Shoe
don't
trees
go
go
to
crazy.
kicks and
It's funny
sneakers,
that you say that because when I wrote the blog on him, I made sure that in respects to him, I addressed him as Ye instead of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Another reason.
you got the because that was an issue that he had. And
Well, yeah,
I
it was blatant. It was blatant disrespect. It was blatant disrespect.
Muhammad
for
Ali,
sure.
right?
Calling them cashes.
would you call it
see what I'm
blatant
saying?
disrespect?
Yep.
Yes, because he changed his name to that and he had to be called that. It's almost like if you call Sean P. Diddy Combs Puffy.
I would say this.
I would say for me,
Right?
it was a
Right,
little
though?
Look, check this out. You have as an interviewer and as a journalist, you have the responsibility to go back and look at what you're going to actually have a conversation on. And you have conversations prior to interviews where it's, don't ask me that. I'm addressed by this, whatever the case is. So if I'm interviewing you, and this is how disrespectful it could be, or this is how irresponsible it could be. If I'm interviewing you, and you specifically said, and obviously your publicist put out there, right, that you no longer go by Poe. You go by Red Beanie, right? For whatever reason it is, you go by Red Beanie.
Farmer P.
That's who you want to be. You want to be Red Beanie, right? And then, I'm like, I wouldn't say continuously, right? Calling you Poe.
Intentionally.
And you keep correcting me. And I keep calling you that. At that point, the average person is going to say that's blatant disrespect.
No, I
because
agree.
there are plenty of people that have changed their name outside of Ye or outside of Muhammad Ali, Prince. And when you seen Prince throughout his career, they would always say the artist formerly known as Prince. It didn't take for a minute. It probably was a little, you know what, brain fart. My bad.
That's what I was thinking with the. I know for sure that there were some blatant like we're just gonna keep calling you.
Even
Kanye.
articles were still calling him Kanye West. Like writers are still calling him Kanye West.
But
you have to
there's different
show respect, bro.
with the interviewing. So someone saying his name to me, initially it's going to be very difficult for me to say Ye probably because I'll probably interchange between both because it's part of your actual name. So it was already a nickname that some people may have said or used colloquially or whatever.
But see, the thing about it is like this. I not to interrupt. Like he said, though, if you're doing research, right, and you're preparing to deal with somebody and you're interviewing them, you almost make it a point to address them by what it is they want to be addressed as. Because, I mean, like...
It's a form of respect.
And responsibility as a journalist and as an interview. That's why I said it's a respecting, but it's also a responsibility.
Or something?
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna lead up to. So there's two different ways that goes. It can be gone. It's tricky.
What does a degree way say?
So there's a book that we use, and this booklet is almost like your thesaurus in your dictionary, right? And so what happens each year, in the booklet, there's for journalism, there's different ways to know how you are. Let's say, for instance. The capitalization of the first letter of certain words.
Okay.
In journalism, there are words that may require a capitalization, some that may not.
Okay.
There are often words that can be interpreted a certain way, and so would you have to refer to that book each year? So, for instance, like a celebrity or someone, the way in which you state someone's name the first time. So. You have to go to this book to refer to it sometimes to know whether this is an accepted rule, whether you wanting to be called something, but me actually doing the story and speaking to you your legal name. There's sometimes a gray area where I actually am calling you by the name that is
listed on your actual documents.
There's some discretion there though, where you want to respect the person that you're writing about, and what you would do typically is you would state the person's name often first time, and then you refer to them in a
so you're saying that they could be operating out of habit based off how they.
Sometimes I'm just giving different
funny when you
avenues.
say that because I thought about it, right? Because I write. So initially. Beginning of the article, the blog that you're writing, because we're talking specifically about writing.
Exactly.
To give you the understanding, to allow you to comprehend who it is I am talking about, I might say Ye, and in parentheses have Kanye West, or I might have Kanye West, now known as,
and then continue to refer him
and
as
then
Ye.
continue to refer to him as Ye.
Kanye West. That shit was kind of. I tried to hold it in, bro.
Happy hour.
Maybe it's his evil twin doing all this. We don't know.
Happy hour happened before this, bro. So tongue a little lazy. But yeah, so, but you know what I'm saying? So I could understand it in that aspect. But if you're actually interviewing this person, right?
And they've already said, hey, don't call me that.
That's the only thing I was going off of. I mean, I shouldn't say the only. That was the main thing I was going off of.
Okay, now versus though, because like when we said journalism like that, usually refers to pretty much writing, 100%, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So in journalism, the book you're referring to and writing like that, that makes sense to initially address them by the name that they used to be known as, or might be known as commonly by the general people.
Yeah, for sure.
And let them know, AKA, or now known as.
Right.
Or you see what I'm saying?
And then you refer to them as
yay, moving forward.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah,
But
I
in
hope
the
you paid
interview-
attention. We've spending a lot of time. You know what I'm saying?
on your damn 2 letters.
Like I said, Kicks and Sneakers, have him spell it because that's hella long. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but yeah, like I get that.
makes sense.
And that's crazy because that's something I never knew that's like a method on how journalists may operate. You know what I'm saying? So,
Because like even with
shout out to school.
when referring to people's names, because you know people have nicknames and things that don't like. All right, for instance, if I'm going by Player P, right? Normally you're not gonna capitalize Player. But that's my name, so now it needs to be capitalized. You have to address it in your writings. So it's just having that understanding, and you know, that's just be it'd be crazy.
2 degrees on the podcast.
And that was just and that was just me giving the benefit of the doubt of initially.
Yeah, initially.
But I know that on Fox they were attempting to be disrespectful.
And that's all. It's a lot, and that's why I said. That's why I made the point to say when it's intentional.
Yeah.
Because some people do it intentionally, like, well, yeah, that's what he want to be called. I don't care what he wants to be called. I'm going to call him.
I don't like
call him
that.
what his mom named him. I'm not doing that.
Like his mom and all. Like you went to church with her and you just paying respects to her. Like, come on, knock it off.
Yeah, they need to knock it off.
You don't know
for sure.
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
No.
So, impact, influence, and responsibility behind it. You know what I'm saying? We've been having a lot of conversations in recent episodes where we talk about the impact on media, social media, but judging by, recent events, Mr. Ye, who we was just discussing, Kyrie, just to name a few, we talked about Charleston White. And then I don't know how familiar you guys are with Andrew Tate.
I am.
How do you guys feel about, and there's going to be a flurry of questions, but how do you feel about them being held responsible as far as the impact and influence they have on the public? Because I watched a older, and I'll say older because it's been out for a while now, interview with Andrew Tate, because I've only seen clips, right? Just like how I kind of started watching Kevin Samuels. And what a lot of people like to do to make their point fly is they'll take a little bit of information and then they'll run with that. And a person, just like we were saying, how you keep calling me a certain, keep calling me, the person will try to explain, you took a piece of content and you took it out of context, right? And then on top of that, the other thing is what a lot of people like to do to vilify the person that they're, I'll say interrogating rather than interviewing, is they like to say, there's 18-year-old and 19-year-old, and which are legal adults, by the way.
Go to the extreme.
Right? And say, this person did this. They watched one of your videos and they went and they stabbed 30 people, or they did this to their girlfriend, as if they didn't have prior issues to watching your video, right? Because I watched that happen in an interview where, for example, Andrew Tate was, being interrogated. So I wanted to know, with us being at the beginning stages of social media, we were the lab rats, right? And then seeing where it is now, and I feel like our generation is probably the better generation to know how to decipher the two.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Certain like-minded individuals. But what are your thoughts, or how do you feel about the influence and the impact, and then the I guess, unanimous responsibility given to these people, because there's no book or no rules to say you are responsible because you are popular and you are influential. That's just what we say because of the power that they now hold. But what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, shit. You can't make an impact if you're not influential.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, if nobody knows you, how are you making an impact?
Yeah.
So,
Because your impact
That was a short
has to
topic.
be- yeah.
No,
I'm just saying because so let's understand that, like, people who are making some type of impact are influential. You can't make an impact if you aren't influential. So then
So why do people try to demonize so much these days when it comes to all these different individuals?
I think they're trying to make it as if I think the people who are complaining the most are the people who
Hit dog gon' holla?
You know what? There's a lot of ways to look at this, because I just thought about something, right? Because it's like, all right, the people that are being influential hold no accountability, right? But did they ask to be influential?
Another short topic. Okay.
These are good. It's like the people that
These are
you
good
choose
points.
to look up to.
Right.
Why? Because they make money. They do something that you want to do. I think that they
That's
do
the
something that
public's
you want to
problem.
do,
Yeah.
and they're good at something that you want to do, doesn't mean that's the person that you want to follow, because you don't know about their character, their personality, the demons that they're fighting, or what goes on behind closed doors. So you sit up here and be like, oh, look at Future. Future's dope. I want to rap like Future. And then you find out Future's hella toxic, and he has 9 kids and 9 baby mamas, and you like, oh, I don't really want to be like Future, because I don't think he thinks about his future. You know,
I kind of feel that way about hip hop, but I'll say my piece about that later.
but you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
then
for
it's
sure.
like, you have to be more aware of who it is you decide to look up to, or you decide to deem influential in your life. Just
Yeah.
because they're deemed an influencer, or people say they're doesn't mean that it has to be influential to you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you need to be more aware of who it is you decide to look up to and deem influential, and decide to want to model yourself after, or deem them a role model and take after, in a sense. So then you need to be more accountable and responsible with what it is that you're doing. And then, you might not have the wrong type of influences because you're not dealing with those type of influencers, right?
See, I think as you were talking, I was sitting here just trying
I'm going
to
to change
think.
your name to Poe with a degree. But go ahead. Just kind of
I'm
hit
trying to I try to think of, like, really, people are giving so much power to these so-called influencers, celebrities,
Catalyst,
whoever, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, people are just really just talking.
A whole lot.
We just, like, and I don't mean to say like talking a big game. It's like we really are having
Conversations.
issues based on statements, conversations,
And that's so
opinions.
crazy, but
It's
a lot of
not
people
really
are
like-
just talking, and
Yeah, it's not a lot of
what's
action
so funny.
going
So
on.
peep this, and it's funny that I'm going back to him, but Future, in an interview, he was like, I don't do none of them drugs. I don't be popping pills and none of that stuff.
Yes.
But that's all he raps about. So now, boom, somebody you looking up to and you modeling behind, right? So you're a sipper and you out here popping. He don't do none of that.
Pac said the same thing. This isn't my real, like, remember when that Changes video came out and there was like the video recording of him and he was like, this ain't my real life. You know what I'm
Now, doesn't that bring a different understanding to when somebody like Charles White says, fuck Nipsey Hussle, but I rock with Hermes? Because what they're portraying and what they're out here saying and rapping is not who they really are. When you deal with them and talk to them behind closed doors, not only are they smart, intelligent, they have intellect, right? But they also are really aware.
And
right?
a lot of them have college degrees.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
2 Chainz.
We're talking about
Chainz,
2
yeah.
Chainz. We're talking about T.I. We're talking about Lil Wayne.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to, like, articulate,
that's definitely a good point.
individuals who went to school,
Ice
who do
Cube.
not operate like that behind closed doors. They get in a booth and they turn to a gangster. As soon as they leave the studio, they're a family man. It's almost like with the city girls out here talking about, F a nigga, do this, do that, whoop whoop, and they all
got
are in
boyfriends.
relationships.
Most of the women that do that, that's why I used to laugh about, like, I used to laugh when women were like so attached to Beyonce's Irreplaceable. I'm like, she with Jay-Z, right?
Back to the house.
And Neo wrote that. Ooh. But anyways,
Neo got a whole.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And That's my thing. It's like, do you do your due diligence before you attach yourself to something?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. But the whole thing is they're given that power by you.
Yep.
Very true.
So it's your responsibility to do better.
Right. And that's the debate I have about hip hop, because with hip hop music, it gets so much flack as far as you're influencing kids to do X, Y, and Z, because I do have a love-hate thing with that.
The obligation.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's one part of me where it's like, man, that shit is fucking trash. You know what I mean? The certain things that are being talked about, and that I do believe certain parts of hip-hop music instigate behavior, but I don't feel like it's solely responsible, because there's so many different moving parts in a scenario.
People don't listen to music they can't relate to.
Exactly.
And if you can relate to it, you can relate to it because you have those thoughts and you've experienced it.
Yep.
Some people, though, do like music that they have no experience relation to.
And that's due to the excitement.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
No, that's a good point,
Yes.
because I had learned that in economics class, where and it smacked me in the face, because I'm a person that's been doing music for a long time. But in economics class, I remember my economics teacher.
I thought it would have been ethics, right?
No. You heard you didn't hear Boosie interview.
He said,
Economy.
Yeah.
That's how he pronounced the word.
Economy instead of economy.
He said it 7 times.
Economy.
Economy.
He kept saying economy. We need our own economy.
Facts, we do.
We need our own economy.
Hey, but get back to what you were saying.
Go back to what you were saying before we get lost.
You learned
continue.
about
Economics, right?
Yeah, I don't want to get lost.
And she ain't got me saying empanada now. So
that sounds good. Apple.
but what I had learned, it blew me away, because at the time when I was in high school, he said, who buys the majority of rap music? Middle class white kids. So that's what clicked in my head when you said there are a group of people that will, and then you correlate with the fact that it's the excitement of, I've never done this before. Yeah.
But, all right, so think about it, right? As a married man, you might got that one boy that be living wild. You might hit that nigga, listen to his stories. Like, you might reminisce through, and you living vicariously through him. Like,
yeah,
you
I'm living
wild,
through you,
boy.
bro. Keep doing that.
You did what?
Hold on, I got to change Pampers.
You crazy. This nigga. Yeah, I think you might need to get tested. Yeah, hold on. This bottle ready. You know what I'm saying? And so, living vicariously through the excitement, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I understand it. I understand it. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. 100%.
For sure. And sometimes I wonder when so many people get targeted, and they're like a Kevin Samuels and a Andrew Tate would be deemed misogynistic. Right. A Charleston White would be deemed a snitch or a traitor. A Kanye West would be deemed somebody that turned against his own race and is for the other side. And I look at all of these different things, that all these different jackets and different labels that are put on people like them because of a few seconds, or a phrase that was taken out of context, or because of their alliance with certain people.
I'm guilty of it too.
But didn't you just say earlier, move by what people are saying, move by words,
Right.
By words,
Right.
Words.
Right.
That's true. Like, because we're and it's not just words that are being spoken directly to you. These are words you're choosing to go and view.
Yeah.
And that's, again, take responsibility, be accountable. Because the thing about it is like this. So,
and there's something I want to address about the accountability aspect of what you're saying too.
So, we have celebrities, right, who are celebrities because of their talents.
Right.
They are famous because of their talents.
Right.
I don't remember any of them saying, I'm a great actor and I'm an influencer for you. Look up to me. Me.
No.
Me. Right?
Right.
Then you have crazy amount of people on social media labeling themselves as an influencer.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
With no talents.
Very true.
Hello,
So
pictures.
the influencing is influencing people to react.
Well, not only that, but here's my question: influencing to people, or influencing what?
influencing that's what as you were saying that, I just came up with the definition. I'm like, because it's true. The influencing part is typically about your status rather than your actions. So your status as an influencer, someone who has a page that people are going to come to because I'm going to have the hot story first.
But see, this is the thing about it. Like I said, you have actual sites that influence certain things. Like if I was to say like Shade Room.
Right.
We're familiar with that, right?
Yes.
Or if I were to say World Star, we are aware of that, right? But now, if I was to name one of these random ass influencers that I can't, because I don't know any, you know what I'm saying? It would be like, wait, what?
Who is that?
Yeah, exactly. Or here's another one, regional.
That's true. That's another
city, right? Yeah. You popping in SAC. They don't know you in LA.
They do not.
You see what I'm saying? Or regional. You hide in Cali. West Coast, you go to the East Coast and pack a couple of coats and sweaters because it's gonna be colder than you think. Right. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Get on my way, B.
And so, but on the same breath, because of what you do, you feel like I'm an influencer, or you know what I'm saying? And so it's the thing is these self-proclaimed influencers that really don't have too much of anything going to influence
a false
you.
sense of purpose.
And oh, I like that. With no message. With no message though, right? So then, because at the end of the day, if somebody's influenced you, they're influenced you to do what? Like do actions, operate, be greater, progress, produce,
motivate,
right?
inspire.
Right.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
That's why you need to have a better responsibility in the people that you choose to call influencers in your life.
What about
if you do, then they will inspire.
But what about the fact that I don't even think the influencers fully have control, because we have something that's the biggest influencer of them all is the algorithm. And see, my issue is when an individual gets attacked, right?
They're paying for that, but go on.
You know what I'm saying? The individual that gets attacked at times, like you take a Kyrie, which we've already discussed before, right? And people are so reactive, and that word means something to me because so many people end up looking like morons being so reactive, right?
Like people don't do their due diligence.
Exactly.
So you got to backtrack because you were speaking. And I'm thinking like in this day and age, so many people are bandwagoners.
Yes.
They're looking for a reason. They don't like what happened. Ooh, I am appalled.
Yeah.
They're waiting for a reason to
outraged.
Have outrage.
I am outraged.
Hopped on and right along.
It is very alarming.
They're waiting at the outrage.
But do you know what happened? They're waiting at the outrage. I know what happened. He pissed us off. You know, yes, I know what happened. He pissed us off. You know how he pissed us off? By opening his mouth.
Right.
You know what he said? Too much. Like, yo, you know what? Give me specifics, because you obviously didn't do any research, no due diligence. You have no idea what's going on.
Right.
You just heard about something, and you're so quick to jump on and point the finger.
Because I can admit that I'm sure we all see the red fire truck and go, hey, there's a fire truck sometimes, right?
Right.
But it's about, I think the difference is we aren't really putting the energy into, we realize like, oh, there's a fire truck. Oh, it's just a fire truck.
We put the energy, we put the energy into the reaction instead of actually knowing what happened.
I'm not following to see where the fire is.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's a fire truck. All right, I'm back. Like, okay. Because some people are going on there responding on social media.
I think us as a culture, black folks, we know better, right?
Yeah.
Because
in most cases.
When I say we know better is because you look at a scenario like danger, right? One of us get up and start running, the other one's going to do it too, because that body language is imminent danger.
Trust your
instincts
on gauging danger.
Okay,
right.
So boom. So then when somebody you deem an influencer in your life operates a certain way, and then you follow suit without actually doing any research.
Mm-hmm.
Because you trust their judgment.
Exactly.
That's the same
basically
thing.
what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
No. I was giving a definition so that the listeners could get it.
And the judgment really is based on not whether or not they have actual knowledge, experience in whatever subject matter. It's just based on.
Well, the thing is that I find happening.
Influential in your life, so you trust their judgment.
We've seen it happen, and that's why I brought Kyrie up, because we've seen it happen when everything first came out. Everybody was so reactive. Yeah. The Shannon Sharps, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Charles Barkleys.
because he was an easy target due to everything that had happened with the COVID previously and people being
flat
split.
earth.
Yeah, but the
And-
the other issue too is all of these people, going back to what we discussed earlier, have a responsibility. Have a responsibility, right?
100%.
They're actually paid journalists and
I understand that.
Yeah,
Still
and they
got-
do
that,
have
though,
even more of a
Right.
responsibility.
But that's
but
the
they
thing
have
about
a more of a
Depending
responsibility.
on who they paid by determines the
But they still have a
responsibilities.
responsibility, even more so of Kyrie, to make sure they got their fucking facts
That's
straight.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm saying? Because there was so many people that jumped on the bandwagon and they were like, didn't even know what he said because he never said nothing. He just reshared something, right?
Yep.
And then when people started to slow down and kind of think, it was like, well,
It was confirmation
well,
bias.
Jeff Bezos is the one that has it on his platform, and we need to go after the person that wrote and actually published the documentary. And so now, like after the fact, you're realizing that if you did have a case to be offended or be mad, you actually went at the wrong person.
It was the group that was with Gaston. You remember when they came up and tried to beat down on the door and told the beast to come out and all that? And then what happened at the end?
Right.
You feel me?
Right. And then and like you guys said, every last one of those people,
Gaston?
every last one of those people backtracked.
Backtrack.
Oh,
Yes.
the punishment is too severe, and you know, and
Yes.
oh, we gotta do a better job, you know.
Shaq.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm making fun of you, Shaq,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a
Y'all should have been having that boy back.
I got smoke with y'all. You guys are supposed to be the professionals, paid or not, and that was not professional. You see what I'm saying?
And as as outspoken as Charles Barkley and Shaq, and everybody on that panel pretty much is an outspoken individual. So much so that if I was Kyrie,
Outspoken and don't know where they going.
my feelings would be
Except,
hurt.
I don't know. I feel like Ernie be Ernie's a little better.
He's the best one.
I know. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, that's why they kept
They
him.
are some people are better, and then you have some
Ernie,
people that are
There's
entertainment.
Kenny, and then
There we go.
There's
There we go.
Shaq
Then you have Shaq and
You have
Chuck.
your comedy
Shaq
relief.
and Chuck
Yeah,
are
the
the
comedy
entertainment.
relief. Right.
They're
Comedy
the
relief.
comic relief,
Right.
and that's why they sounded stupid.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, Jelani, the thing is, like, that's what they're there for. That's what they're there for.
You're pretty good.
If you close your eyes, you sound just like.
I was finna ask for autographs.
But the response, it's that responsibility, and the reason why I'm going this route is because I feel like people are so lost and people are so quick to jump on the bandwagon that they really don't take the time to figure out, well, who should we really be mad at or condemning if it's actually necessary.
It's too
But yeah, well,
easy to just jump on the bandwagon.
That's the route these days, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are moving too
Yeah.
fast.
It's-
Information is flowing
sometimes-
so quickly.
Sometimes it's not even that it's moving too fast because the thing is, there's so much information that's readily available.
Yeah.
It's what is easily accessible, right? So then
Absolutely.
that's what's easily
Absolutely.
accessible.
Absolutely.
And since that's what's easily accessible, it's easier to go that route than to actually do some research and your due diligence because that requires effort. And a lot of people
And
are not
time,
about
though.
Yeah.
It requires time because by the time I do the research and come and find out the information or whatever,
You're last to the party.
story is over or someone else has already jumped the
Gang,
gun.
y'all,
and
I'm gonna give y'all
said
the
it.
secret. Anything that requires effort requires time.
Yeah.
Period. So
Yeah.
just
It's-
if you didn't know it. No, you feel me though? Like straight up
People
though.
just don't know that.
Because
Right.
we're up here just saying, but like if you have
Hey,
to
it comes
give effort,
natural to us, but other people are like, huh.
You have
It's
to
a-
give time.
Time is a
Tell us that in
byproduct.
class.
Time is a
Hand in hand.
byproduct of effort.
It's almost like
It just
somebody was
falls.
like when people because I have to break certain down like, oh, you've been busy. No. I've been productive. Now,
Right.
you can be busy
And not
without
do a
being
damn thing.
productive,
And not do a
but you
damn thing.
cannot be productive without being busy.
Mm.
So I'm productive. My schedule is filled. I have
busy
things
running
going
your
on.
goddamn mouth. That's
Right.
what
You
busy
see what I'm
doing.
saying? And if you shut the fuck up, you might be more productive. Ah.
Hey, man, you're going to have somebody with a brain freeze. I'm busy being productive.
Hold on. What?
What?
What do you do? What?
How you do that?
He putting time in his effort.
You do both?
Oh my god.
Nah, that's real though, dude. I
I
think
just understand.
I think that is an important thing. I think that's really important.
It's an
thing
easier
in this-
route.
because I feel like that's the most damaging thing about the influence. I know that individuals, especially adults, they need to be solely responsible for what they let influence them. But on the same side of that is if you are deeming yourself a source of accurate or just a source of information, because information, it kind of goes without saying, it should be fact. It's not always fact. Then you have a responsibility to make sure that you're giving the right information and more detailed information. It's just like even the thing with kind of like with celebrities, like something happening to celebrities or celebrities passing away, is very vague because they don't have all the information. Well, maybe if you pump the brakes and let things unfold in a respectful manner, then maybe you would actually have a better reputation. Because a lot of sources of information these days is, and I'll quote Jelani, it's smut.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of smut.
And I'm standing up here, my facial expressions are crazy because I'm just like, that shit should go without saying.
It should.
Like,
Absolutely.
I've been blogging since 2014, bro. And I fact check everything. Because my point is to be informative.
And if you care
About your work.
you should,
and have made enough mistakes.
well, the thing about it is, if you care enough, the mistakes are fewer.
Yeah, but
That dude is pescatarian.
No.
He pescatarian. He don't care about no steaks. Right?
well, because I'm
He don't care about
separating,
no steaks.
But you see
I'm
what I'm saying,
separating
though?
like the
All
average,
organic.
But that's the thing. The average.
the person who we deem should be responsible versus the person that's like just a regular person on social media commenting like they don't have as much responsibility as.
We all have a responsibility. If you're putting any type
That's
of
actually the
information
topic of what
out,
we talking about.
you should. You have a responsibility
main
because
focus.
the trace comes back to you, right?
true.
And so then, if you put out false shit and then it comes back to you, then what happens?
So that's kind of like
What
what
happens to
we've been
your
talking
rep?
about.
What happens
Who
to
is
your rep?
responsible?
Yeah,
Right?
your reputation is tarnished.
Yeah.
How much longer can you expect people to come to you for information?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
that's just,
eventually
in this day and age,
you keep spewing out bad information.
the way people
right?
are reactive, you get shut down like fast.
Yeah.
So that responsibility
Mm-hmm.
should go without saying to be accountable.
Yes.
Now
check this out. Now there's a flip side to it, and I never thought about it in this way
what, playing the villain and just putting shit out?
until I seen Andrew Tate's. We could do that though, y'all, if y'all want to.
But because some people do that, because like Denzel said, it's about being first, not being right.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
being
yeah. I
first to
remember
draw
that interview.
traffic,
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
lot of cases, some people want to be
It don't,
first
it don't matter because I've already got the traffic here.
But
But
check
here's-
this out though.
Yeah.
Being first, while it may create an issue, what if you benefit off the drama? World Star, Shade Room, again, right? A lot of times, everything they put out isn't 100%.
I be seeing
fact.
people in the likes on those
Right.
pages too.
You actually just made a good correlation because you can correlate that to battle rap. There's no judges on the battle rap, right? So
Everybody
there's
that
just
attended.
It's just the conversation. There's just the conversation there.
Yeah.
As long as I create the conversation.
Who likes your
and
conversation better?
It don't matter whether I'm saying anything correctly, as long as I know I can get people here to talk.
One of the things that I noticed when I watched Andrew Tate's video, his interview, is the host brought up the fact of all the certain things that he said. Right?
Which interview did you watch?
Oh man, it was the.
I just watched one like 2 days ago.
It was the guy. He interviews everybody. He's pretty big.
Black?
White guy,
White guy.
young.
I don't think he's young, but he was really. He always interrupts people, bro.
Yes, I was
He
just.
asks a question and interrupts you.
I was just at.
Like, when's your birthday? Did you have a bad birthday last year?
Not
Tell us
Gary-
about your
not
birthday.
Gary
He's that
V.
dude.
Not
No, it's
Gary-
not. No, it's not Gary
I
V.
just watched.
But he got an accent. I don't want to miss. But anyways,
he has an overseas accent, right?
yes.
Yeah, I just watched
But
that.
the thing is, that he brought up Andrew Tate brought up, because cancel culture, right?
Yeah.
And the thing with cancel culture is some shit that you said, which could be fucked up to a lot of people, and and a lot of things behind cancel culture. Somebody said things about folks of our hue and all these other things. But what Andrew Tate said makes sense, because dude was like, well, do you regret now, what you said back then versus now? He said, dude, I didn't know I was going to be the most Googled person in the world, because Andrew Tate is the most Googled person in the world right now. He's like, so to sit up there and say that I said something that only 400 or 500 people cared about, and that now because I'm an influence, am I sorry, or do I change my perspective? He was like, I'm not going to say that. He said, I understand what kind of influence and impact I have now, so I probably should word things differently. And
I can't go back and change.
I like that response to kind of like this cancel culture thing that we got going on, because I don't think there's one person that is on this planet that is safe from saying something that's probably considered fucked up to someone here.
You have an opinion about something or someone or any range of things that,
and that's just my perspective.
Drake pretty locked in.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, there's some people. There's anybody you name, there's probably somebody around them that said something that when they were around that person, they heard something that was like, I'm offended for whoever they were talking about. So that's what I'm saying. Nobody's walking this planet.
The person at the comedy show that has a fat friend.
Yeah. Bro, even though Bill Burr made a very good point about that shit.
Bill Burr is one of my favorites.
We'll talk about him. We'll talk about him.
Bro, it's.
But what I'm saying is nobody's free from offending anybody ever.
I feel like when you said that, I feel like Lil Duval, because like that's fake caring, bro. What y'all fake caring about today?
Because you don't really give a fuck until the topic comes up.
Exactly.
You don't care.
Exactly.
And afterwards, tomorrow or in 2 days, guess what?
Thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to be concerned with this shit. You're fake caring.
You're fake caring.
What are you the moment about today?
It's right here. Now I can see it. Now I'm like, I'm affected by this because
it's here.
It.
Yeah, now it's gone. You're affected.
Yeah.
Oh my!
For sure.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shout out to ODB. R.I.P. That's one of my favorite lines from him, bro.
That's real talk, though.
Shut the fuck up and shut the fuck up.
Bro,
you didn't get it the first time.
Yes. Shut the fuck up.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah, and I mean, I like to reply, because it's like everybody wants to be. Everybody wants to be in a state where they want to hold somebody accountable for something. I remember, like, we were groomed in a way where it's like you're not supposed to let words affect you, and
that's so true.
And the crazy thing is our hue have been taught that the most, because there is a worldwide word.
And stones
right
may break your bones,
but if you say something about my mom, you're gonna see this chrome.
Right.
You know what? I'm slick anyway, bro. So it be like, it depends on. Like, I'm slick and I'm an asshole.
I'm still a little, like, I still get a little shaken up when somebody say, your mama.
Yeah, what?
I'm like, hold on, I almost grabbed my motherfucking. Why I got this in my hand?
Bro. What was that?
What I'm doing with this?
What was that? Fuck, what was that movie with Will Ferrell? Anchorman.
Yeah.
30 Man Tooth is a saint. She is a saint.
Yo.
Definite classic, bro.
I'd hit you with the hammer. Nah, but I mean, like, but that's the thing. You're not supposed to be moved by words. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And that's like,
and that's Charleston White's bottom line a lot of times.
100%. Yeah. That's why he does things the way.
Because he does say, like, I ain't did nothing to nobody.
But you're supposed to be. But you understand that you're supposed to be slick, because, like you said, the way that we were brought up, like a lot of shit supposed to roll off, and you supposed to be able to take. Like, that's a lot of the reason why. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us were good at capping, not lying, talking shit, making jokes. You know
the
what
original,
I'm saying? Yeah, you had to be slick, because, you know, everybody had a mouth. Everybody was quick to say something. You know?
And we all damn near, like, we got a couple of kids that's coming to school with the fresh shit, but most of us really ain't doing a whole lot better than
the next one. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
we all kind of like on the same level to be.
Yeah, I got these Jordans, but I'm gonna have to wear them for the next year and a half.
Next month.
Next year and a half.
Yeah.
This is all you gonna see.
Right, for sure. No, that's real, man. I think this conversation is very important, and I think this conversation needs to happen more because I feel like a lot of deflecting happens as far as in responsibility as individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I think that's
nobody wants to be responsible.
Man.
Well, I said like
Again,
this.
no,
I
that's
say like
no
this.
point.
No.
I
It starts
ran
like
for
this, though.
vice president of my
Nobody
school.
wants to be accountable because being accountable means you have to be responsible.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So the whole thing,
for
who did
sure.
it? You. Because as soon as you find out who did it, that's the person that's responsible and has to deal with it.
Right. Absolutely.
So people are running from the accountability aspect because of the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so it's, fucking pointing the fingers and shut.
And we had a whole episode on accountability, like our first season. So y'all go tap in with that. But that's true. I do think that the times that we live in, you know what I'm saying? Not to attack a certain group, but the times that we live in, a lot of people avoid accountability.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Y'all better listen up.
There's no forethought of the after effect.
The consequences.
There's
of
no
reaction.
forethought of
Consequences.
the after effect,
Yeah.
right?
Very true. Very true.
Because if there was, you just
Touch
might
your mic, man.
execute.
Cut your mic off, dog.
You just might operate differently.
Nah, that's
It's called effort, though.
Well,
You gotta put some effort into
the overall.
gauging.
But
Yeah.
see, you're talking about putting effort into the overall aspect of it. A lot of people just execute without the forethought.
For
You
sure.
see what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because in this day and age, going viral and being popular on social media happens because of sometimes the craziness, the outrageousness, right? Or the wow value, the shock value of things. And a lot of times in the midst of that, you just do stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then after you do it and you see the blowback, now you're like, oh, I shouldn't have, but it's too late.
I didn't
You
mean
there
to.
was no
If
I
I'm
didn't
wrong
think
about
about it.
this,
Yeah.
this
There
is
was no
possible.
forethought
Right.
of the after effects because you didn't put in the effort to look at the situation
Yeah.
overall.
So what
No, ask the question.
Go ahead,
What
Negrodamus.
what do you think in 30 years from now, maybe 20 years from now, we look back on social media because it's such an impactful
Well, see, and that's
thing
the
in-
thing about it.
Are we going to look at it as something that, I guess, let me think how I word it. Some things on Earth come out of inevitability, I guess, if that's the word I'm looking for. So some things, there is a counterbalance, I guess, to
I like that.
the
Okay.
way in which we operate
Yeah.
on Earth. There's certain bacteria and germs that produce or come into existence in order to counterbalance something else.
Yeah.
So one thing maybe
Yeah,
looked
like good bacteria, bad bacteria. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So are we gonna look at social media as like? Because right now we're in the midst of it, so we can't really step back and view it
But
that
the thing
way.
about it is, right, we're not
Because
gonna,
you see where I'm going.
but the thing about it is, we're not going to really look back on it and have that thought until it's too late. Because
Until the transition.
yeah, because I feel it can only go
Yeah, we
one
can't.
way.
We can't
I
step
feel
back.
it can only go one way.
Yeah.
And I say this because I shared something with you. I don't know if I shared it with you, but it's out right now.
It don't matter. He don't look at his DMs, bro.
That part. So there's a study. There's information
I put him in general on my
that
IG.
is out about TikTok. There's two forms of TikTok. There's a TikTok that China has.
Yeah,
There's a domestic TikTok and there's an international TikTok. On the domestic TikTok, they have like the ads and commercial stuff for how to do science experiments, museums you can visit, things of that nature, smart intellectual things, right? The international version that's shipped to the U.S. is
The ghetto.
bullshit. You're on there. You know what it looks like. You know
On
what I'm
TikTok, I ain't been on that shit.
Okay, so on TikTok, you know, it's like, bro, you cat
I mean, I've gotten a couple of
videos.
links and stuff.
It's
but
hella
I-
miscellaneous shit,
Okay.
and it's like, it's
It's a trash can.
100%, bro. It's just like
Recycling
because the
center
thing
for-
about it is like
Yeah.
everybody's on there doing something, so you can get caught up on there looking at stuff for hours because it's just BS.
And then
but
they-
none of it.
And then they incriminate you by saying this is all for you right here.
But
Caught
none
in
of
the
it.
scroll.
But none of it is stimulating mentally, right?
Yeah.
This is the international version, and so then when you go and you ask in China these kids what they want to be when they grow up, number one was an astronaut. When you over here in the States and you ask kids what they want to be,
An influencer.
number one is an influencer.
Yeah.
Right? So you give this a couple years, a couple generations of playing out. Move your headset. You give this a couple generations of playing out. What's the world going to look like?
Intellectual warfare.
What's the world going to look like?
Like a bunch of people who have no aspirations.
Who's going to be taking over? Who's going to run things?
Intellectual.
Who's
The
already-
Notion Podcast. This is what we do things. Because Ye's finna hit up Kicks and Sneakers. We gonna get that budget, flip
We
that
already
over
got-
here.
We already know how to grow our own food. We
Yeah.
good.
Working on shoe. We working on growing our
We
own
know how to do
shoe
clothes.
soles. You
We
feel me?
got shoes.
Yeah.
We damn near the first
We
hominids.
straight. We're straight.
It sound like a
We're
plant-based.
good.
Look, it
We're-
sound like a plant-based sneaker.
We just
We're
need
good.
some guns.
Yeah,
And
yeah. We got plant-based
Waiting for
sneakers,
you, Ye.
plant-based bullets. You feel me?
Nah, but I caught that. Yeah, they gonna catch it too. Nah, that's real though. That's real.
Nah, I think that
That's crazy.
I wanted to respond to that because I was like, I was kind of like a deep thought for a minute. I think that everything that we are dealing with right now is some form of evolution of things from our parents. And I think for the parents that do have memory, because I swear you talk to your parents
All right,
sometimes,
so
they're like,
I
I
don't
don't remember,
remember-
I don't remember nothing.
Mom, you don't remember when you hit me with that bell like that?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? But if you owe them money, they remember that shit.
Right.
So my thing is it's like, if you just put yourself in your parents' shoes, right? And you think of what was their version of what we have now. So social media was kind of like soap operas, whatever drama was in your life, and then you get on the phone and talk to your friend about it or whoever you're close to about it. That was their version, of social media. And then kind of like the misleading information with news and stuff like that was television,
See?
TV, right?
See?
What's going on?
Because I feel some type of way. You use the word evolution, right?
Yeah.
See, and a lot of times when you use evolution, people think this. That the gradual development of something.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah, because Dawkins
it's-
never said that every
sometimes-
animal.
Sometimes it's formed to a more complex form.
Yeah.
But it just means the development. So this is the thing about it. All evolution isn't good evolution, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So while we might have evolved one way because of the values, the morals, and the things that were implemented to us, right, and in the way that we've operated, right. Now, if the generation after us had deterred from that and went a different route, they evolved, but they evolved a different way, and that's not necessarily a good way. So then, whatever happened from the way that generation evolves isn't necessarily going to be upward. It could be downward. And one of the facts of that, or one of the factors, of that could be social media. And that's why I said I feel it can only go one way, because people place too much value on social media and the followings and the likes and being an influencer and the impact of social media.
And you're right, because then that turns into a bunch of decision making based off of that thought process. For example, you'll hear a lot of older people or people of our age that will say, man, these not millennials, but Gen Z, they don't care. They're not going to go out there. They're not going to let somebody work them for 30 or 40 years. And my thing is that sounds good now while they're young, but what will they look like in 30 or 40 years?
Will that actually be a good thing that they have not been
You see what I'm saying?
responsible for that?
Right. Because like we talked about, social media creates this highlight reel that this is my life. It can be yours too, right? Everybody's an advertiser. That's the thing about influencers. A lot of them are just advertisers. They're just spokespersons or ambassadors for whatever the thing that they're trying to sell to you. So when I hear things like that, you're right. It can only go in one direction, because at the end of the day, one thing that I don't want to say it hasn't evolved, but one thing that is kind of like mandatory for survival or certain skills. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to maneuver with certain skills,
That's what I was
educated
getting
or
into.
not. You
That's
have
what
to
I was
have certain skills to survive.
Trades,
Right.
being handy,
Right.
knowing how to operate with tools,
Right.
things of that nature.
Right.
How to create
You see what I'm
something.
saying?
Right.
Like, and so and
You
that-
can't
that
get
matters.
around it.
You can't.
You can't get around
You
it.
can't.
You can make all the digital foods you want, right? But your actual physical needs a certain
And that's what's so
nourishment,
crazy
right?
when you think about a generation that can operate a phone and a ring light but can't change a tire.
Right.
Yeah, because
And so then you talk about
the practical
evolution.
things of
Yo,
life.
they'll evolve, but they'll evolve to a generation of fucking ring light walking motherfuckers because they can't change tires.
Because that's very much true. Because I had a conversation with my mom, and I was explaining to like, I always reflect back to my upbringing, obviously, and just comparing it to how difficult things may be now compared to then. Like having it all together. Like our parents may not have had it all together, but I can say that they're
We never noticed.
Well, see, and that's another thing.
We
bro.
never noticed.
They have a resiliency, and we didn't know, and they just had the certain skills that I can say a lot of people in our generation
Exactly.
lack.
That word. There's that word.
Privacy is not appreciated, bro, and that's why I say that. You say you didn't know, right? Because privacy. So let's get into this.
They wasn't talking all loud to their girlfriend in front of you.
Wait
Yeah.
though. Because you're talking about, you said something about social media and the highlight reel, and that's the whole thing. So now you have a generation looking to obtain something that's not obtainable because they're looking to obtain something that's perfect when it doesn't exist. All you're seeing is the upside without the downside, the grind, the work, the sleepless nights, and everything else that comes with it, right? And then on the same breath,
the expectation.
when you talk about your parents and the way that they grew up, first of all, social media never existed, right?
Right.
And then remember, it was whatever happens in this house stays in this house.
Stays in this family.
Nigga, you done got a whooping. You got your ass. Not a whooping. You done got your ass whooped behind saying something as a child that should have stayed in this house and finding out the hard way from your parents.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so this is the whole thing. Like I go back to saying the values that we have. So the way that we were raised versus now where everything is out there. I've seen fucking full funeral ceremonies on social media.
That shit is crazy as hell to me.
Right?
That's crazy.
Something that should be private, something that is hurtful, something that is not meant to be shared is being viewed. Some people showing them live.
I just had a conversation with my cousin this morning. I have a family member who unfortunately lost a child who was born and only alive for a matter of minutes. And it was uncomfortable for me and another family member to see the father and grandfather, who are our family members. They post a picture of like the kid at the hospital, and it was like, it was just uncomfortable. Like, to each his own.
It's none of my business.
Now,
Yeah,
I was very uncomfortable with it. I was like,
Yeah.
is this for social media?
And that's the thing. A lot of stuff is not meant for social media, but people don't seem to understand that because, again, the likes, the follows, the attention, right? That dopamine
It's
hit.
not genuine, and it's not. You're seeking
So
disingenuine.
is it? So are you saying that we all agree that sometimes when, fuck it, most of the time when people post something that's private, it comes off disingenuous because you're trying to get that dopamine hit and you fell into the hands of your own narcissism?
Because we can kind of
They don't
tell.
comprehend that, though.
We can tell when it's like, we have two people that we know that from junior high school who also may have lost children, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And when they post about their situation, and mind you, I'm not judging anybody. This is just how I'm viewing it. I could be totally wrong. They are posting about it. There may be an event that commemorates the
Celebration of life.
There's an organization that represents an ailment that this child may have had.
Right.
And there's periodic
Yeah.
postings.
For real.
Typically doesn't give me the feel. I don't even really go scroll through the comments. It just doesn't give me the feel of seeking attention. But then there's other posts for individuals who may have had the similar situation, but what they are posting, it just seems like a cry for attention, which it could be.
The thing about it is like this,
be.
bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like, when I take a loss, I hurt.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
at
it.
all. I don't want nobody's sympathy. I don't want nobody's empathy. I don't even want to be bothered.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm not posting.
Same.
I'm not sharing.
Yeah.
Not tagging.
Yep.
Bro, the last thing I'm thinking about is social media.
Right.
9 out of
that's
10,
real.
last thing I'm thinking about is my phone is probably on silent or off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to do anything that is going to prolong the hurt, remind me of the hurt, or have me dealing with the hurt longer. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, or like actually, because the thing about it is like, all right, say I post something, right? But 4 days from that, I go back and see the post. But now
I'm reminded. I'm not in the right headspace.
Let's say I'm not. I don't even see the post. Maybe I'm moving past it, and somebody's responds to the post. Now I go back to the post. I see that for a notification. Now I deal with it all over again. Right?
Reset. It's like a reset. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not doing any of that. Like, and then the whole thing about it is like, I know people will give condolences that aren't genuine, and I don't want that.
Mm-hmm. I seen a post. I seen a post one time where somebody said, "When black people say I'm praying for you, that's their prayer."
Real talk. I've had to consider
though.
whether I'm gonna respond just to give.
All right, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's hard to even
like.
What do I say?
I'm like, at one point when I was heavy in the church, of course, I was a prayer warrior. Like I was a leader and all, like, but I'm not there anymore. Right? Do I believe in prayer? Do I believe in God? 100%.
Yeah.
So if I do say prayers up or I'm praying for you, then I've sent up a prayer. I don't mean I dropped to my knees and I spent half an hour in my prayer closet, but that does mean that I have taken some time out to close my eyes and actually genuinely put up a prayer.
Right.
You should, like,
Cause see with
from
that
here though,
I'm intentional about the film. I don't
make comments just to make comments.
Well,
I'm not a prayer person. I've never been a prayer person. But when I have said, because I've felt weird about just saying that common phrase to people.
Yeah.
When I do get the like, oh, this is how, how you kind of think of the automatic responses. I'm intentional about the fact that, all right, I'm going to say prayers to this person. I'm not going to pray, but what I am going to do is I'm only saying this to you because I'm thinking about you and this situation outside of this comment on a regular basis. I'm just going to be thinking of you.
We could even do it like this, bro. Check it out before we get out of here. Like, all three of us over, I would say at least the past 2 years, have had some kind of scenario in our lives where it affected us in a way, traumatic, if you will, as far as in losing somebody, going through it. All three of us know about it, and social media doesn't.
100%.
And I think that's the biggest message that we can say right now.
Just sum it up.
Like, I understand, all of us understand that people, they do what they do, and that's what they do. They have a right to do it no matter if we agree with it or not. But that's how genuine the experience was, because like I said, all three of us have had a conversation, whether it was over the phone or in person or shit, before we even press record. And social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they do not know about it. You can't find a trace of it, or have no idea others wouldn't even have any idea what we're talking about, even if it's people that are affiliated with us because of the core communication that we have with one another. And that is I feel like that is the lost emotion in relationship as well, that is kind of just disintegrated because of the yearn for
attention. Plus the lack of privacy.
Yes, and like you said, the lack and respect. Yeah, both of those, lack and respect.
Well, that's the thing about
privacy.
it. If you don't respect it, of course you're not gonna have any. So if you don't respect it, then there's a lack of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking unintentionally, like it's
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's real, man.
It's just an ongoing, like, it's gonna obviously be an ongoing conversation and something that we're gonna have to navigate through. Right.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like,
listen to the podcast. Together, man.
Yeah, basically, listen to podcasts, step your shit up, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like this is the whole thing about it. Everything is a choice.
Put his drink down for it.
everything is a choice, right?
Everything
Everything
you
is
gotta
a choice.
sip left.
Yeah,
you
I
right.
he said,
that.
"Nah, I gotta
No,
say this."
That's the good. That's the good.
I'm gonna
hit.
say this for after I say this shit, man.
Everything is a choice, right?
Yeah.
Nah, absolutely,
And understand,
absolutely.
you have to understand, even in you not doing anything, that is a choice
Right.
to not do anything.
For sure.
Because in this day and age, and they say this all the time, we have, all this information at our fingertips, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to you. You have a responsibility to do your due diligence to make sure that it's the right information that you're intaking. Right?
Now that's really, we can't complain too much about the landscape. Everybody knows what the landscape is. How you gonna navigate it?
Absolutely.
How are you gonna get through it?
And you have a responsibility to either make sure that you have your navigation and your maps out, or you just out here winging it. And if you're out here winging it, you can't be mad at the results because you're not navigating how you're maneuvering.
And I'll add to that what they said.
It's love.
Anyways, you've been tuning into the Notion Podcast. This your boy Dizzy D Spill with my co-host in the building,
Jelani Evans.
Farmer Poe.
Poe with a degree. And we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out Earth Tones. Check out Kicks and Sneakers. And
Check out LeVar Cole.
you feel me? Until next time, peace.